Now come to the next series program. S equals to 1 plus 1 into 2 plus 2 into 2 plus 1 into 2 into 3 like this way. So suppose this is I and this is I plus 1. If the I is 1 and then the second term will be I into I plus 1 like this. So if the x value of x equals to 1, then the value second term value, if it is y, then y equals to the product of x and x plus 1. Okay, right? Product of x and x plus 1 like this. So in this way actually this series program actually works. So you can see I have already taken the number of terms in the variable n, and the s as for the storing the sum value, and I as for treated as a loop control variable, and p, which is very essential thing. Why the p is declared? Let's see. So I'm going to write down the loop I equals to 1, I less than equals to up to n terms, so less than equals to n, and then after I plus plus. Then after I'm going to do the multiplication first. So p, what is value of p? So p equals to p into I plus 1. Let's see. Why the p is used? Because if the first value is 1, then p is initialized by 1, so p equals to like this. It is like this, p equals to p into p, the initial value of p is 1, so 1 into I plus 1, so 1 plus 1 it becomes 2, and p 1 into 2 is being stored in the variable p. Then after I is increased and it becomes 2, and this times p equals to p into I plus 2. So the previous value of p is 1 into 2 and the I plus 1. Now the value of I is 2. So 2 plus 1, that means 3. So it becomes 1 into 2 into 3. Then after again the value of I is increased and it becomes 3, and then 1 into 2 into 3 is already stored in the variable p, and now the latest value of 3, so 3 I plus 1, so it becomes 3 plus 1 means 4, so it becomes into 4. Okay, so in this way this variable actually work to store the multiplication factor. Now I am going to summation the value. So s plus equals to I plus p, and after the loop I am going to print the sum value. Okay, now I'm going to run the program, enter the number of terms, suppose 10 terms. So the value is like this. Okay, suppose again I am just going to run this program and enter the small values, suppose 3 terms, then the value is 38. So in this way this series program actually work. Now come to the next series program. In this series program you can see this type of series 1 plus 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n up to n terms. So in this series program I am going to declare the variable sum or s, actually which is actually basically used to store the summation value of the series by 1. But in the previous all the series program I am going to initialize the sum variable or s variable s, where actually the summation value is stored by 0, but in this case it is stored by 1. So s becomes 1 or sum become 1, the initial value, and the series come from the start from this portion. Okay, the series will start from this portion. Okay, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3 like this from this portion. So now you will see I have already taken the number of terms in the variable n and declare the variable s equals to 1 and sum equals to 1, and I for the declare here for the as a loop control variable, and s and sum both are declared for the storing the summation value. Now I am going to write down the for loop I equals to 1, I less than equals to n, and then after I plus plus. Now I'm going to write down the s equals to s plus I plus 1. So s equals to s plus I plus 1, and then after I'm going to write down this thing that sum equals to or plus equals to s. Okay, sum equals to sum plus s actually. Now how it is actually work, let's see. Suppose the value of I is first time for the I loop controller, value of I is 1. So s equals to s, the initial value of s is 1, so 1 plus I plus 1, so it becomes 1 plus 2, so it becomes 2, so this is going to store in the variable s, and the initial value of the sum is 1. So in this portion the initial value of sum is already 1. So 1 plus s means 1 plus 2 like this, and then the loop will increase by 1 and the value of I becomes 2, and now the s equals to s plus I plus 1. So previous value of s 1 plus 2 and now I plus 1 means 3 as the value of I is 2. So it becomes plus 3, and now it becomes look like this 1 plus 2 plus 3 as the new value of s is this. Then after I also again increase, it becomes 3. So this time the s becomes I plus 1, that is 3 plus 1, it becomes 4, and then the this value becomes sum equals to, the sum value is already this one, and the new s value is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 like this. So in this way actually this series program work. Now I am going to print the summation value. I'm going to run the program, enter the number of terms, suppose 10 terms. Okay, the value is 286. The value is 286. So in this way this series program actually basically solved.